And here are the lineups then in the format, the starting 7 for Uganda.
Yeah, so as we talked about there, Cholhok and Muscovia in that shooting end. Oyello at centre. We've seen her play goal attack. She started this competition at centre. Namfuka at the end at goalkeeper. So many intercepts for her, so she'll be looking to drive from the back. For Zimbabwe, we see the shooting queen, Jani, at goal shooter. I want to mention here Kwanga, though, at goal defence. She has had a phenomenal tournament.
Let's introduce our match officials.
Zimbabwe taking on Uganda for the 7th place finish here at the Vitality Netball World Cup. The world number 13 Zimbabwe taking on the world number 6 Uganda. It's the first time they've met in this competition. It's the first time they've met in the Netball World Cup, of course. Zimbabwe making their debut. The first centre pass then between Zimbabwe and Uganda. 7th and 8th positions up for grabs at this Netball World Cup. First centre pass being had. The crowd still flocking in on this final day of action here in Liverpool.
Great start there from Uganda to get the first ball on the score sheet. Quick, slick play.
So there have been no easy games in this Netball World Cup, but there's definitely no easy games when the top 8 positions are up for grabs on the final day. Looking to make a good start here, both sides. Both have 3 wins out of 7 in this Netball World Cup. And not like some of the teams throughout this competition. They haven't faced each other before in this 7th, 8th playoff, but they have when they fought and battled at the African Regional Qualifying Tournament last year. It's a rematch of that, which Uganda won.
And great play just there. Kwanga, goal defence, straight up for that intercept. Cholhok sitting at 6'7". To get a ball off her is not easy, so great elevation there in defence by Zimbabwe.
So a lot of traffic in the centre third of the court here. Both teams coming off the back of losses on Friday. Zimbabwe lost 77-47 to Jamaica. Uganda lost 55-44 to Malawi. The fans are in, waving their flags, supporting. They've picked up so many fans, Zimbabwe, in this, their first Netball World Cup, bringing the flair, the magic, the colour, the vibrancy. This is going to be a tough one here today.
Take a step in, keeper. Step in.
Hear the voices of the umpires, Lisa Douglas, Helen George taking charge of this one. And another one rolls in for the shooting star for this Peace Praskovia.
Yeah, what a talent she is. She's just grown and developed, now doing her trade down under for Lightning in the Suncorp Super League. Zimbabwe overcooking that pass. Jani couldn't pull it in. Lovely switch of play from Cholhok, using the edge of the circle well. And Oyello, we know she can shoot, but we know she can pass so well into that circle. Sometimes helps being a mid-court player if you've played in the circle, because you know where the shooters want the ball to be placed.
Contact, goalkeeper. Keeper stand beside. Zimbabwe.
It's a beautiful shooting partnership, isn't it? Pamela Cookie, Peace Praskovia, of course, played in the UK Super League with Loughborough Lightning. She then left to play down under for Sunshine Coast Lightning, was replaced at Loughborough Lightning by Mary Cholhok. Gosh, you'll learn so much with Cholhok playing all the time, well, as much as she can with Praskovia, that experience that she has.
Definitely. And Praskovia is such a good ambassador for netball and wanting to grow the sport so much. She's passing that knowledge and talent on to the others coming through. But Jani continues her shooting score.
Throw in, Uganda.
So it's about the feed for Uganda. It's about getting it into Praskovia. It's about getting it into Cholhok. It's about giving Peace a chance.
Top of the circle. Over this way at the top. Where you are now. Goalkeeper, stand beside. Take a step in.
So a nice step forward, but a layoff. Not wanting to take that one, Praskovia.
Good, just getting both combinations into the foe. Cholhok sat on 2 from 2 now, 100%. Peace Praskovia, 3 from 3, 100%.
So a good start by Uganda. 3 goals their lead, 11 minutes remaining of this first quarter. Both teams had a rest day yesterday, but the She Cranes have started well. 8th at the last World Cup in Sydney 4 years ago. It's only their 3rd World Cup appearance, Uganda.
Please. Goal attack, Uganda.
I'm going to change early doors. Peace Praskovia handing over her Velcro bib. I'm looking to see on this Pamela Cook. She's got heavy strapping on her right knee. Got those compression socks on and not looking particularly comfortable, because you'd think it can't be a tactical change when Uganda are 2 goals up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she scored that. I did see her after the first time she played goal attack and she was like, never playing this again, Pam. But obviously seeming to work in Uganda. They put her on again. So I'm wondering whether they just wanted to start this game off strong and then make some changes and roll it out. I'm sure we'll see her to the court again.
Yeah, well, they've given Peace a chance in the first few minutes of this match. And maybe you're right, Pamela Cookie, maybe it's just about establishing a lead. They have a 2-goal advantage, Uganda. Cholhock across the centre circle into the fast hands of Ayala. And now taking up the shooting duties for Uganda.
She's been so accurate in that goal attack position. She's such a playmaker as well. We saw her start the competition, Oyella and centre. That was that very first game against England where she got sent off. But she's just progressed throughout this competition, and I think she's one of their better goal attacks.
Oh, Cholhock. Bit of miscommunication there between herself and the centre. Now it's a time for Zimbabwe to bring it back down court. Oh, close. There's confirmation of the team on court now. That change in the centre for Kizza. Ayala, as Pamela Cookie says, gone into the goal attack position. Good defensive work this, though, by Uganda. Zimbabwe are going to have to work at this. So a lot of fatigue coming in through all the teams now on this final day. But that's the goal the crowd wanted. If you're a neutral in the M&S Bank Arena today, it's going Zimbabwe's way. They've had such a good World Cup, they've entertained.
Indeed, definitely their very first World Cup. They've made history being here, and the fans that they've brought along but also gained along the way has been massive. Backing them all the way.
Contact goalkeeper.
And a roll-in again for Uganda. They have made history, Zimbabwe, making this, as we've said, their first World Cup, their debut. Trying to get into the shooting circle, putting themselves in a position to pull one back. 7-5. It's a really enthusiastic Ugandan fan right behind their bench. That must buoy you as a player when you're on the court or off it especially. You're meters away from fans who are just shouting and encouraging and just waving flags right behind you, giving you some support.
Indeed, it's great, and we always talk about the crowd being the 8th player, that extra support. But Cholhock, goal being disallowed down the other end, but they win it straight back. Kizza giving that support, helping her shooters out, just to keep this in the Ugandan possession. Nice feed. Good from Cholhock there to
Contact keeper,
offer for the back, but then pop forward at the last second.
Zimbabwe.
We've mentioned a few times through this Netball World Cup how much maybe Cholhock, well, her game's improved through the World Cup. It's improved being in the Super League here in the UK. She's out the circle more, she's more agile, she's more mobile. She really has, as many players have, stepped up their game here.
Yeah, definitely. And what I've really been impressed with her is her ball handling, how she takes the ball now. A couple of times in the Super League, she was being pushed off and it was going off the back line. But throughout this tournament, she's really strengthened that take on the ball.
A little short pass into the hands of the wing attack. And she is Meme to the Ugandan side. Nicely kept in. Oyella dodging and weaving, rolling around. Oh, look at that, a full 360, that one. And that's something on the first day of our UK Super League when she came on, she was like a baby giraffe. It was like a rabbit in headlights, and that's not meant disrespectfully, but the speed of the game in the UK and to where she is now in July at a World Cup is leaps and bounds.
It's amazing. It's phenomenal what they've done, and Loughborough Lightning, we'll have to give them credit to how they've developed her and got her up to speed, and then she's rejoined her national team and progressed it even further.
Nice on the outside circle. Oyella looking for space.
Contact goalkeeper.
Oh, nice snatch, nice take. Makusha, the goalkeeper for Zimbabwe, gets up. Look at that, the contact. You can contest, but not contact.
Yes, indeed. Hard contesting under the post. Good footwork and strength there from Cholhok. Namfuka just getting trapped in her legs.
Right obstruction centre.
There she is, once again in the hands of the 6'7" shooter.
Zimbabwe.
22 years old. There he is. That's exactly the Ugandan fan that I was talking about, Pamela. Look at that. He's now orchestrating the whole of the M&S Bank Arena because he knows if Zimbabwe pull this 5-goal deficit back, the crowd are going to start getting a bit wild for the Zimbabwe gem. So he's setting out his stall early.
Indeed, he's getting there warmed up.
Yes. He's looking to get a little team together.
Oh, that's been one of my favourite things of this World Cup, how much the crowd and the support have been to these amazing athletes on the court, and they haven't stopped. They probably worked, I wouldn't say as hard, but nearly as hard as the players on the court.
It's all about the defence. Nice little roll in. Pauline Jani, another one who's just having a good competition. Not even actually quite sure he's with anybody, but I don't think he really cares, to be honest. He's with the 7 on court. He's behind the Ugandan bench. He's just living life.
Yeah, enjoying some amazing sport on the court.
Contact.
Oh no, there's his friend. His friend's a bit shy. His friend's one of those like, oh, come on now, mate.
Oh no, he's getting into it. He's getting into it. He needed warming up.
Give him 2 minutes, he'll be there bonging, hitting his drum. Well, and he needs to get the volume up because Zimbabwe are pulling this one back. It's now just 2 goals the difference, under 4 minutes remaining of this first quarter.
And Bawani there, goal attack, scoring that last goal. He loves it.
Let's see what he's like in the 4th quarter. Let's see what stamina our super supporters got. He might need it in this match because Zimbabwe are settling down a little bit. How are they getting back into this, Pamela Cookie? What they're doing different from that fast start that Uganda had and the lead that they'd created?
Just picking the ball around, taking their time, getting these crucial turnovers from the Ugandan mistake and making them count.
Oh, this is brilliant. The last day of action of what has been a truly brilliant Netball World Cup.
Goal attack, contact.
Contact called.
Contact,
Zimbabwe now to hit double figures in this first quarter to bring it back to 1.
Lovely play there from Jani. That's what we've seen from her in other games, that little fake off to get the defender to move, and then she turns to the post to shoot.
To the left of myself and Pamela Cookie in commentary, we have another drum, and I think he's from Zimbabwe. I'm not quite sure where he is, but he's upped his game since our Ugandan friend is getting the better of the crowd with the neutral support here.
Wing defence, contact.
Wing defence, contact called. Nanyonga in that wing defence position for Uganda.
Lovely play. Kwanga and Mushka in that defensive position, getting front position to get a tip on the ball. But so quick, that's what Uganda has with the target shooter of Cholhok. They can get that ball down into the shooting circle so quickly.
Peace Plaskovia has got off the bench for Uganda, but that's to lie down behind her teammates. You won't see it. No, you just see the top of her head in the back of your shot. So we'll see if she's needed because Zimbabwe are pulling this one back. They were back to 1, but it's now 2. for Uganda, looking to finish this quarter as they started. Oh, see, that's nice, that's nice. I love a bounce past me.
Yeah, and for a girl so tall as well, getting down low and using that skill level just to move the ball around the edge of the circle and play herself in. A real skill there.
Advantage obstruction, wing defense. Advantage obstruction, center.
13 playing 10, coming up to the final minute of this first quarter. Uganda have had victories over Trinidad and Tobago, Scotland and Samoa here at this World Cup. Zimbabwe have put wins on Sri Lanka, Barbados and Northern Ireland. Get another chance.
Good from Danny, just to settle herself after that miss. When she's up close and personal to the post, so much easier for her.
It's starting to get loud in the arena. The fans still streaming in on this last day. He's trying to get a little bit, excuse me, Cholhok trying to get a little bit closer to the post. Where's the last goal going to come from in this first 15 minutes? The winner will take 7th place. It's not just me, it's getting louder, isn't it?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
getting louder, Pamela.
The arena is starting to fly. But it's because they're here supporting these great women on the court who are putting on a good show for them.
They are putting on a good show, the fans here of Zimbabwe and Uganda. And it's the Ugandan team, the She Cranes, that are putting on a good show for them. They are leading the way after the first 15 minutes by 14 goals to 11. The fans are loving it. The second quarter to come. The second quarter of Zimbabwe against Uganda. The fans are still streaming in here on this final day of action. You can see in your shot, the flags are flying, the chanting has started, and it's Uganda that started this match with the better pace, stretched out a little bit of a lead over Zimbabwe.
Yeah, they scored off their first centre pass in that first quarter, have the opportunity again, and Peace Boscovia is back on court at goal shooter.
You get a feeling it's a bring on when I need you type situation for head coach Vinti Kiwanaka.
Yeah, and she'll be more comfortable with GS rather than GA.
Obstruction, goal defense, Valley centre obstruction.
Yeah, that huge difference, you'll know more than most, Pamela Cookie, between just the goal shooter and the goal attack position. But it's a good start to the second quarter. That buoys the fans up even more.
And a change in Zimbabwe shooting end as well as Kaiser has come on at goal shooter. Such strength in depth in those shooting positions for both teams.
A little high five there between the shooting pair.
Yellow and Boscovia have worked so well together in the matches that they've played.
So Zimbabwe
Wing obstruction.
trying to get it into the shooting hands.
Kwanga there just getting a nice little tip on the ball.
Vantage contact wing.
Quick, lovely play for Uganda off that back line.
Uganda.
Joyce to Kaiser just coming on, 1 from 1, 100%.
Uganda being
Contact obstruction.
taken back into the centre third of the court. And they're making that wing attack position then, looking to thread the ball through.
Advantage offside centre.
She's got great vision. Oh, just a miss there from Boscovia, but she's on the rebound, her first miss of the day.
To the left of your shot, our Super Ugandan fan now has company. I think that's a group that's going to grow over this match. Pamela Cookie, as the noise levels increase, confirmation of those on court for Uganda.
Lovely shot. Zimbabwe, Wanali at goal attack. She's sitting on 100%, 4 from 4.
Hang on.
I love the fact that they're not even some super fans interested in watching the action. It's all about creating the atmosphere. It's all about supporting the team. Love that. Happy to sit and support and encourage. And Uganda have a 4-goal lead here in this second quarter.
And with players like that under the post, so good. But it's their centre court for Uganda that are really providing those opportunities. Zimbabwe on the attack now.
Obstruction, wing defence. Contact, goal
Nyonga, the
shooter.
wing defence for Uganda, stands by. The ball now back in their
Obstruction.
possession.
Yeah, Takeza getting called for an attacking contact. She was just backing her body in. She didn't have the ball in hand, so the defender didn't have to give her space and causing the attacking contact.
Obstruction. Found obstruction. Goal attack. Contact. Goal attack. Centre third.
14-19.
Yeah.
There's the Zimbabwe bench. They fought so hard to be here, raising money left, right and centre as a nation. The African nations the most heavily represented in this INF World Cup, 4 in total. And of course, the next World Cup, Pamela, in 2023, over to Cape Town in South Africa. The first time Africa will host a Netball World Cup. Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking, can you imagine?
Cannot wait for that. How good. They've got 4 teams in the top 8.
Wow.
Through this competition. Zimbabwe, as I said earlier, their first time in a World Cup. It's going to be massive. Liverpool has put on an amazing show these past 10 days. And I think the standard and the quality of output has been phenomenal. And Cape Town will look to improve on that.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say this Liverpool World Cup, the 15th edition. Here comes the son of the African nations.
Goalkeeper contact.
So a pick up of the ball from Uganda. 5-goal lead, 9.5 minutes remaining.
Oyella continues 100% shooting, 5 from 5.
Knowledge wing obstruction. Wing defence obstruction.
Uganda just letting Zimbabwe off there for a second. Lovely, Jani. Takeza, sorry, keeping that control on that take and offloading to Bonali.
So Uganda then with the centre pass. Betty Kizza still in that position. A few changes have been made.
Knowledge contact wing defence.
A little bit too far for Peace in the goal shooter position. A little bit of frustration from the goal shooter there from Uganda.
Indin Muladi at centre for Zimbabwe. Lovely positioning around the edge of the circle to be able to get a little hand on that and get that interception.
Time is off. Goal attack.
So when contact's called, for those that don't know, right now you have to go and stand beside. Wow! Fabulous front ball take from Namfuka for Uganda.
Luckily the doors are closed, so the ball doesn't need to, it bounces off and doesn't need to be retrieved from a far distance. There we go, one of our many super volunteers and officials getting it back in play, tossing it in over to Lillian Agio.
Yeah, the pivoteers have been phenomenal this World Cup, haven't they? So helpful and friendly and getting everybody to where they need to go.
Replay.
And the players have loved it here in the northwest of England. So many of the nations, 7 in total, I believe, were training in Manchester, up here in the north, not far away, of course, from Liverpool, in preparation for this World Cup, taking use of the wonderful facilities that the city has. But now Zimbabwe trying to get through. They're 5 goals down, under 8 minutes remaining until half-time.
Wing area.
Geo there.
Got it, obstruction work.
So good on the elevation. Nice, smooth shot. Dekeza's come on and shot 3 from 3. So composed, so accurate.
She's been shooting well all through this World Cup, and she's been brought on, and as Pamela Cookie said, making a difference, 100% from both of the shooters at the moment on court for Zimbabwe. And that loss against Jamaica, Dekeza shot at 81%, Granali at 86%. 4 shooters in total were used by coach Makunde throughout that loss to Jamaica. He's done that a lot through this competition, did it against Malawi as well.
So we're just looking here. Injury time was called by Makusha for Zimbabwe. And so, but then she realized she wanted to stay. But once you've called that injury time, you have to leave the court.
Another one rolls in for Uganda. As predicted, their fan club is growing around our super fan. That was just a matter of time. It's like bees round a honey pot. Look at them, supporting their team, absolutely loving this final day of action. And Uganda have that 5-goal lead, stretching it out from the 3-goal lead that they had after the first quarter. High over the top, taken with ease and popped in.
Wow, so good from Praskovia. The way she holds makes it so difficult for a defender to get round on that backing up. And she delays her timing for her move off to take the ball, which makes it even harder.
Praskovia 3 inches shorter than Cholhok at 6'3". A towering presence in the attacking end for Uganda. So another pick-up for them now. 6 minutes remaining, 22-16. A space through the centre of the court.
Goalkeeper contact. Step forward, keeper. Inside the circle. Keeper, step forward, step forward. 1 step, step forward. Whole time, step forward. Yep.
So yellow, just being told from the umpire where exactly to stand for that penalty pass or shot.
Kwanga in the goal defence position for Zimbabwe. Giving a little sporting conk on the head to Peace Praskovia. So she gets the shot and puts it in.
Kwanga now joined by Karume at goalkeeper. Novluvo has come on at goal attack, and Granali has moved into goal shooter.
So quite a 23. Sorry, Pamela. Quite a few changes. Is that what you expected?
Yeah, they needed to do something. Uganda are now 9-5 up in this quarter. So change up of personnel can sometimes just add that little spark, add that little change. Also, the subs on the bench would have had time to look at this game and see what's happening in front of them. And a lovely pass in.
Well, there's the directions being shouted from the Zimbabwe bench. Remember, World 13 rank coming into this Netball World Cup. They're going to finish at worst 8th because this is the 7th and 8th place playoff. And changes being made again.
And that's Ngluvo coming on at goal attack, a wing attack.
Understandably, lots of changes, thick and fast throughout this final match for both of these sides.
But it seems Dekeza, though, still on at goal shooter.
A roar from the crowd. Over the loud noise here in the arena. Oh, the sticky hands.
Yeah, when the team just needs someone to settle them, just to get that one more on the board. Peace Praskovia is that girl to do it. Oh, and an intercept for Meme. Right place, right time. Look at her getting up there from elevation. And then Zimbabwe not laying down, trying to get it back again.
Our super fan in the back of the shot's not laying down or sitting down either. He had a full fry-up this morning, he did. He's absolutely cooking on gas in terms of supporting his Ugandan side. He's inherited a flag as well, Pamela. He's loving it, absolutely loving it.
And Karume there for Zimbabwe, goalkeeper. She's only 5'2", and she can still get up for ball.
Advantage contact, centre. Goalkeeper contact. Goalkeeper.
Contact called. Rudo, the goalkeeper now. But it's in the hands of Peace Plaskovia. You cannot underestimate the inspiration that this woman is, not just in Uganda, but throughout Africa, with what she's done with netball and the journey in that career that she's had and the inspiration that she's been over the years, and probably a massive inspiration to this guy here. Look at him.
He's loving their work.
He's sweating more than the players on court, Pamela.
Yeah. But Anoyela there, praising him for his support by getting that goal. She's still on 100% shooting.
Can I leave you to this and go and join him? Is that all right? If I just go and do a little soak up the flavour.
Go join the party, Gav.
Oh, take from the goal shooter. Wanwali pulls one back.
Hold hard, Uganda centre.
2.5 minutes remaining, Pamela, till half-time. Uganda has stretched this one out to 7 over Zimbabwe. Look at world rankings, of course, that's expected from the Ugandan side. Zimbabwe have a little bit of work to do here to try and hang on to the coattails of their African rivals.
Yeah, definitely.
Keeper contact.
Again, good hold in that circle from Plaskovia. Lovely shot.
Centre pass then to Zimbabwe. Nice cross court, trying to get it in with the shortest route possible, the lowest amount of passes possible from that centre pass into the goal shooting position.
But Takeza just couldn't keep hold of that ball and it falls out of her hands. And Uganda again on the attack. They've just ramped up this pressure in this second quarter. 13-8 currently the scoreline for the quarter.
Yep, after losing the first quarter, 14-11. Ranali 100%. But she's missed, so they've not updated the stats on that. Oyela, gosh, blimey, she's all over the place. She's in that shooting position, in the centre position, but it's working for Uganda, Pamela. As Peace Plaskovia now comes back on court after a break. Commentators curse, but she'll get another try. My gosh, I can't remember the last time I've seen her miss 2 in a row.
No, 3 in a row. But she's getting the rebounds, which is what Uganda will need, and she's scored it at the end. So, yes, shooting stats. She's thanking God for that one. But bless her.
Oh, sometimes you just got to let it be.
Yeah. Contact calls it whole time. Keeper, your contact is now becoming persistent. There's caution.
Yeah, so Karume there just getting a caution. She's just coming in a little bit too late each time. It's persistent now. She's done it a few times. So gets the contact call, as we see there. Just taking out Plaskovia's legs.
30 seconds remaining until half-time before Coach Kiwanuka and Mukunde have their team talk. It's stretched out for 10 here for Uganda.
Centre obstruction at the top. Centre obstruction. At the top of the circle with the centre.
The clock's ticking down. Is there time for Zimbabwe to pull one back? Yes.
Inluvo has come on her first shot of the game. 1 from 1.
Well, how much fun is this? Absolutely super stuff on the last day of the Vitality Netball World Cup. Zimbabwe against Uganda. Uganda leading the Zimbabwe team by 29 goals to 20. Uganda 29, Zimbabwe 20, the third quarter. Who's going to finish 7th in this year's Netball World Cup? Uganda, Pamela Cookie, starting this third quarter as they started the first, getting the ball straight into Peace Praskovia and getting one on the board.
Indeed, and this is my favourite combination for Uganda. Oyella at goal attack, Praskovia at goal shooter. I think they read off each other so well. Oyella with a mid-court experience as well as being proficient under the post. 7 from 7 for her. She can feed that circle well into Praskovia, who holds so well. Down the other end to Kaiser. She has been on song, still on 100%. Not as much volume though, with just 4 from 4.
So good percentage shooting across the Netball World Cup by Takeda. And they're going to need that, the Zimbabwe side, to pull back against Uganda.
Yeah, they're going to need their 2 defensive ends, Krume and Kwanga, who we've been raving about this competition, to come out with those intercepts, to really drive this team forward from the back.
They really need to come together right now. The Ugandan side. Oh, popped in by the goal shooter. This is what the head coach Lloyd Makundi wants to see.
Uganda just carving up the Zimbabwean defence. The ball coming down the court so easily.
Oh, the beautiful fluid technique. What does she do so well, Pamela Cookie? I know we enthuse a lot about Peace Praskovia, quite rightly so, but what is it technique-wise for young netballers watching?
They need to watch how she holds on a defender. She doesn't stay on it for too long. If the ball comes early, then she'll wait for it to go over her, then step into the space. If it doesn't come, she's not afraid to be quickly on the move. She will do her footwork to position off the defense, and she's such a great target because of it. So watch her now, talking to Oyella. Oyella runs around the base. She says to her, keep going, so that it frees up the backspace for herself. Praskovia, phenomenal athlete and a great shooting mind.
Great shooting mind, great shooting hands, great inspiration. And at the moment, Uganda now have extended it out by 1. It's now a 10-goal advantage. Our superfan is back. He wasn't here at the start of the third quarter there, behind the Zimbabwe bench, but he's back with his gang. And he's shouting on the She Cranes. It's not just about the 7 on court. When you're on there, it's 7 players, but the 8th player, you guys say, in terms of netball, you've got to have a little help from your friends.
Indeed, just to give you that back in, just to push you on a little bit longer. But the stats we just saw come up there at the bottom of the screen, showing Uganda having almost double the amount of shots on goal that Zimbabwe, have had. So they're getting the opportunities, both scoring at high percentages, but it's those opportunities at post that Uganda are having that is making them in this position.
So a nice little take from the goal attack there. In that position now, Oyella moved around so much between centre and shooting, and I was going to put a commentator's curse on her, but she passes it to Praskovia. Of the 2 positions she's played in through this World Cup, Pamela Cookie, what has Stella Oyella been the best at to me, or is she just 50-50 and good at both? Where would you prefer always to see her?
I definitely prefer her at that goal attack position. I think she can read the game, where she doesn't get caught up in that defensive contact. She can just play the attacking game. When she's reactive and having to work off someone else, that's when she gets a lot of contact calls. But as an attacker, you make the reaction, you do the work first, and so I think that's definitely where she's better at, goal attack rather than centre.
Oh, she does relish it, and she does pop them in when asked for her side. 35-26.
Obstruction, goal defence. Obstruction.
Nice big step forward to cover the ground. And they pulled one back, Zimbabwe. 10.5 minutes remaining. Their centre pass. Already made history, Zimbabwe, by being here in this Netball World Cup, the 40th nation to compete in the World Cup since its debut. And now, a little bit of a fight back here. We're enjoying this one, 28-35.
Yeah, Takeda there, just off the screen. That shot was phenomenal from long range, such confidence.
Oyella picks up. Another one popped in.
Zimbabwe.
And they're sharing the load in that circle. So making it difficult for the defenders to kind of shut one person down because they know the other one will pop through.
Wing defense obstruction.
First miss there for Takeza, but she was so quick on that rebound. Doesn't miss a second time.
Obstruction, wing defense. Got an obstruction goal attack.
Into the hands of Praskovia.
Yeah, Ruth Meme at wing attack. I've liked her composure. I've liked how she just settled things for the Ugandan attack, and then just at the right moment, she puts in that lovely ball.
The Ugandan fans still making noise to raise the she cranes.
Nampangu there, it got wing defense and goal defense. Nayonga just working together to get this turnover. Deflections, 10 from Zimbabwe, so they've put the most hands in. Uganda just 6, but it's in terms of actual possession where Uganda have tipped that scale.
9-8 Zimbabwe are leading this third quarter, so they're 1 goal up after we started back after the first half an hour.
Contact next to her.
Good strength and core there from Praskovia. Her feet nearly taken out of her, but she keeps standing.
Uganda.
And the crowd is still standing.
Contact all defense.
So the African Revolution continues here at the World Cup, Zimbabwe and Uganda. 7.5 minutes remaining, 29-38. Uganda really are on a charge. Their first appearance at the Commonwealth Games last year. 8th, as I mentioned, in the World Cup, only their 3rd World Cup appearance. African nations being represented wonderfully well as we lead into the next 4-year cycle and head towards 2023. But first, we've got to conclude all the places on this final day. And Uganda are 9 up, heading towards a 7th place finish.
Fabulous turnover there. It's 10-all in this quarter. Zimbabwe have stepped it up.
Goalkeeper contact.
Coming out from that half-time. It's a lot tighter now. Fabulous from Takeza. Just getting that one, popping it out, just to keeping them just a little bit in the lead for this quarter.
Coming up to 6 minutes remaining until the final 15 minutes. Zimbabwe pulling another one back, pleasing the fans.
Great work as we see. Uganda won the first 2 quarters, 14-11, 15-9. But this one, Zimbabwe have come out fighting, 12-10.
Contact goalkeeper.
Forward, not taking that one on. Pamela passing it across. The result's good, it's the same.
Yeah, and Uganda feeling that they just needed to stem this kind of push from Zimbabwe, and good from Praskovia to slot that one in.
Oh, it's a high one, and it's landed perfectly.
Lovely shot. Oh, she
Bit of a limp.
Yeah, maybe he's got a little knock, but that's not going to stop her.
In line with me.
It's just so much twisting and turning.
On an obstruction goal attack.
In netball, the rolling of the body, maybe picked up a little bit of a knock and an injury. But at the other end, not paying any attention. Quite rightly so is Peace Praskovia popping another one in. Cool as a cucumber.
Just not flinching, did she, when she had such hard marking on her. She stepped in. So Makusha able to stay as close on that shot.
Contact keeper.
Takeza just overshooting that one.
Yep. Obstruction.
Second time, no problem.
So the umpires, Lisa Douglas, Helen George, being kept nice and busy here. See them wiping the sweat from the brow on the far side of the court.
Fabulous.
Zimbabwe now take it through the centre third. 7 is the deficit. It was 9 at half time. They're leading this quarter by 2, 14-12. It's so hard. World-class umpiring. Talking to a few netballing legends over the last few days, they've said they've been very impressed at the level of officiating and umpiring at this Netball World Cup.
And it's their centre pass. Yeah, officiating has been strong here. It's been fast-paced. It's been contested, and they've managed to keep up with that play, which has been really good.
Cheering, chanting, no sign of any injury now for the Zimbabwe shooting star. 36-41, back to 5.
Oh, and a mistake from Uganda.
Nice throw in Uganda.
But it just came off Makusha's hands.
Go out there. Where you are? No, inside. Just out wide, yes.
Backline Uganda. Across from Oyela.
Goal defence, you're holding her arm. With the goal defence now. Just back one step, shooter. No, over that way. Go that way. That way. With her. That's it.
Oh, moving and a shaking. There we go, Praskovia.
Goal defence, advantage.
Nice.
Moving.
They needed that one. As Praskovia looks up to the score, she knows Zimbabwe are catching up. They've had a good stint coming out of this half-time.
Change on Uganda. You can see some movement there. Players being changed by Vincent Kiwanuka here. And that's not a surprise, is it, Pamela Cookie? They were 9 up at half-time. Zimbabwe are clawing their way back into this one. Just 6 behind now with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah,
Fuka goes into the GD position.
Indeed, yeah. Zimbabwe were having a lot of success getting that ball down into that shooting end.
Advantage contact.
So
advantage offside.
just thinking to change it up a little bit. Namfuka coming back onto the court. Add a little bit more pressure. But of no avail for that first one. Takeza keeps on plugging away.
She certainly does, and she has done a lot for her side in this World Cup. But the fight is in Zimbabwe.
Yes. Makusha at goalkeeper, getting lovely front position and getting high elevation. As we see her here, driving that team from the back. Can they make it count?
Advantage offside centre.
Oh, she overshoots it.
Goal shooter obstruction.
So Uganda are going to want to take this down the other end and make it 43, at least, before going into the final 15 minutes. Coming up to a minute remaining. Nice take. Playing it around. They've got plenty of time here.
Lovely play from Oyela. Just patient, using her split to get a little bit closer to the post.
Well, you said, Pamela, you like her in that shooting position. There was a good example of why, but look at the fight, the drive and the desire from the Zimbabwe Gems. Desperate to go home with a 7th place finish in their first ever Netball World Cup. And put another win on the board and make it 4 over a higher ranked African team of Uganda.
Oyella sinks another one, 100%, 12 from 12.
So applause from the Ugandan bench, withstanding the pressure that Zimbabwe are putting on them. Another example, that's the snatch, the take, the goal.
Yeah, Uganda the ones to finish this quarters more strongly. Zimbabwe came out strong, but Uganda rode that and have pushed on to get those last 4 goals.
Well, it was a 9-goal lead for Uganda at half-time. Zimbabwe are fighting back, but the world number 6 still leads Zimbabwe by 8, 45 goals to 37. (45-37), Zimbabwe against Uganda, the final 15 minutes of Netball World Cup action on day number 10 for the 7th and 8th position. And that is not how Zimbabwe want to start the last 15 minutes, Pamela Cookie, when they're 8 down and fighting for 7.
Indeed, yes, and Joyce Takeza had been shooting so well, but she's missed that last 3 now. And so they really need to come together and boost from her so that she can get those shots in the goal for them.
Yep, come together right now. That'll be the message from the Zimbabwe head coach and the Ugandan head coach.
Goal defense.
You really can't emphasize enough
Goal defense contact.
the development and the importance of this match in terms of the African nations and how they've performed here at this World Cup. They've brought the carnival atmosphere, the colour and the song.
Goal third.
Yeah, and Uganda looking to win this one out, Pamela. Can you see it changing? Have Zimbabwe got enough, or are the world 6 just a little bit too strong?
I think at this moment just a little bit too strong, but we saw that comeback from Zimbabwe in that 3rd quarter. They drew it close, but it's just at those key critical moments that they haven't been able to convert, and Uganda have just taken the ball straight down the other end. And we say her name so much as commentary, but Peace Praskovia has been phenomenal.
Goal shooter contact.
Just a little blip there.
Goal shooter.
Moving a little bit tentatively there, Peace Praskovia. You can see her with the blue strapping on the right leg. Lovely to have the option, Vincent Kiwanuka,
That's it, yeah.
to bring her on if needed. We need a little bit of an injection. Let's bring Peace on. We don't need her now, let's take her off. But she's looking a little bit weary, Peace Praskovia. I'm just looking over the top of my commentary monitor. She's not moving as freely as she'd like.
Advantage offside wing defense.
But Oyella has been supporting her there in that shooting circle at goal attack. She's still sat on 100%, 15 from 15. But then Uganda have the option to bring Chohok back on the court as goal shooter as well. So I think if Peace was really injured or not moving too well, she'd want to fight this game out.
Well, that's it. She'll want to end the final match of this Netball World Cup. In terms of experience as well for Uganda, Peace Praskovia is 30 years old now. This is her 2nd World Cup, that 4-year cycle. So many players throughout this Netball World Cup that we've enjoyed seeing, Pamela, but saying, I wonder if we'll see them again in 4 years, through the England side, through the Ugandan side. That's a big chunk of time, isn't it, when it is 4 years? That's a lot in sport.
Yeah, really long time, and that's what I thought when I retired. It was like, can I do another 4 years? Have I got it to do all the training, all the traveling, all that hard work, all that time away from your friends and family, all that commitment that these ladies give each day, day in, day out? Can you do it for another 4 years to get to the next World Cup?
No. Haven't got time back on.
That 4-year cycle, that long and winding road that every nation takes between the World Cups, between the 15th and the 16th, under the post. Oh, another one. Goes through the net.
And better there from Takeza, just settling herself on the shot.
Advantage contact.
Oh, just forcing that ball into Praskovia.
Cross court.
Valid obstruction. Valid obstruction. Contact.
Nice
Over
feed.
the top, nice take. Eyed up.
Maladi, I like that a lot. Just right on the edge of the circle, just giving a nice weighted pass into Kaiser.
A change is coming. Yeah.
Yeah. As we can see, Praskovia just limping off. Now she's getting a little help from her friend, and she's giving it back to Cholhok to come on court and take her place. I hope it's nothing too serious for her.
That predicted change was coming. Peace Praskovia, along with all of the players, getting a little bit fatigued, carrying obviously a little bit of an injury. But you know what? You know that the coach will bring her back on just if needed for the final few minutes, right? And you know you're not going to be able to stop her.
No, she will want to do everything she can for this team. And if that means sitting on the bench, then she'll sit on the bench. But if it means coming out and playing her part as goal shooter, she'll come out and play goal shooter. But Zimbabwe bring it back to them to 7, the goal difference, 41-48.
10 minutes of this match remaining to see who takes 7th place in this year's Vitality Netball World Cup. It'll be the first Netball World Cup finish and statistic for Zimbabwe here on their debut. Uganda will not want to finish 8th like they did 4 years ago. They'd like to take that 7th position and nudge themselves up just a little bit. Confirmation of the changes. Cholhok back on.
Valid obstruction, Wang. Zimbabwe.
The drums are increasing in noise.
Yeah, Aiken there at centre, just getting a tip on it. She's lost her back bib. Oh, what a take. Namfuka getting a tip on it, but then able to pull it in for an intercept.
Valid obstruction, goal defense.
Good swing round the circle. And Cholhok
Contact
split.
keeper, holding.
6'7", and legs that go on for days.
London break wing attack.
41-50, 8.5 minutes remaining.
Defense.
Nice take.
Contact, hit, keeper.
Good. Oyello again. She's been key to this Ugandan attack in terms of just keeping that scoreboard ticking over, assisting when they can't get it into their shooters, being that playmaker.
Vantage contact wing. Vantage obstruction center.
Nice.
Keeper obstruction Armsford.
Buanali just giving that a little pop over. She played herself well into the circle.
Well, they're looking up at the scoreboard and they can work it out that they're in prime position here. 9 goals the advantage for Uganda. On the verge of notching up a place from 4 years ago. On the African Regional Qualifying Tournament last year, the strongest team on the court at the moment. But Zimbabwe will fight. They were so gutted when they missed out on making 2015 World Cup qualification and making history doing it this year. It's their centre pass. 10 goals is the difference.
Oyella just coming in late there. Just getting that contact call in the centre third. But trying to get another turnover for Uganda just to make this a little bit more comfortable for them as they go into the final 6 minutes of this
Contact, goalkeeper, goal defense. Goal
World
defense.
Cup.
Oyella will not want to end her World Cup how it started.
Uganda.
With the eviction on that first day. which seems so long ago now, doesn't it? And all the wonderful netball that we've had throughout the last 10 days. And this is the final 6.5 minutes of it for Zimbabwe and Uganda. For the first time in the match, our Ugandan superfan has stopped, I repeat, stopped waving his flag. But fair play, it took him till, oh no, he's back again. It took him till 6 minutes of the final quarter to run out of gas.
But yeah, he's
obstruction goal defense.
brought so much energy, and as has these players on the court.
Contact center, you held on to her skirt.
He's got some wings from somewhere, and he's back bouncing up and down. Oh, lovely ball. This is a nice passage of play.
Footwork.
Straight down the middle, but Cholhok called for footwork, just unable to control her feet. Nice take.
Zimbabwe fight in the
They've had
final
some,
few minutes.
They've had some great passage of play, but just at that last bit there, Takeza, she's looked a bit laboured. She's not been as strong on the take, especially when it's going away from post.
Contact, advantage offside.
Well, it's been a tough schedule for everybody this Netball World Cup, and fatigue is definitely going to be setting in on this final day of action, and Uganda aren't going to get a chance to put another one on the board.
Kwango again at goal defence. She's just got some crucial turnover when needed.
Goal third, obstruction.
But will it be enough?
Advantage hold, center.
Better from Takeza. That's where she's strong, that's where she's powerful, just in that inner ring around the goalpost.
So the Zimbabwe bench look up. Lloyd Makunde, the head coach, started as a basketball coach many, many years ago. And his friend changed jobs and basically said to him, look, I can't do this netball coaching anymore. Do you want to step in? He said no to start with. He didn't understand the nuances of the game as a basketball man. But that was many, many years ago, and now he's fully ingratiated and quite rightly very chuffed and proud to have led Zimbabwe to their first World Cup.
Yeah, and so we should be. These ladies have done a great, great job. There's really developed. They've really shown how much they've progressed.
Offside wing. Garnage offside wing in contact.
And I think some of these players will be snapped up by some of the professional leagues.
Obstruction goal defense.
It's that platform, as we've mentioned, once every 4 years the World Cup comes around, and it's a platform and has been over the years for so many players to actually be noticed and taken up by some of the top leagues in the world, and this year will be no different.
Advantage contact.
Another great intercept from Zimbabwe. Where was this in those other quarters?
Garnage obstruction and offside.
She's going to take it on.
Center contact.
Great strength on that edge of the circle. On Maxican Gava, and finished off from Wanali. She's on 100% shooting. So much accuracy in this game on the shot.
Garnage obstruction.
So, Uganda push. Couple more passages of play with 2 minutes remaining
Both out of play.
in this match. Everybody stands by.
Whole time.
As Peace Praskovia, excuse me, Mary Cholhok puts another one in.
Oh, so being asked to retake the shot, but she scores it anyway.
Same result, and a deep breath from Mary Cholhok, her side. 2 minutes away from finishing 7th in the 2019 Netball World Cup.
Oyella just hasn't stopped running in this. offering, she gives, she goes again, she gets the ball, she shoots.
Goalkeeper contact.
And that's just her first miss of the game.
Contact, keeper.
Everybody around us glancing up at the 4 big screens above the lovely centre court, the main court here at the arena, checking the scoreline and realising that Uganda are 10 up and therefore will finish 7th in the Netball World Cup ahead of Zimbabwe. And the noise is being ramped up because the fans know it's their last opportunity, Pamela, to make some noise and be heard as they have been throughout this whole experience here in Liverpool.
Yeah, indeed, and Zimbabwe, credit to them, coming into this second half. They lost the third quarter by 1. They're trailing by 2 currently, but it was that first half that really hurt them. And Uganda have just kept ticking away since then, and hence they've got this lead.
Well, they've fought before in qualifying for this World Cup, and the world ranking is heavily in favour of Uganda at the moment. But that'll change for Zimbabwe when those new world rankings come out, because they're going to finish 8th at their first ever Netball World Cup. Uganda looking to close this one out.
Yeah, it has been a dominant performance from Uganda. Not been easy at times, but they've kept it going, ticked it along. And Nanyonga there at wing attack. Namfuku at goal defence, some intercepts that she's got.
Going to be a few more seconds. Is the last goal of the match between Zimbabwe and Uganda, is she going to pop it in? Is she going to give the Zimbabwe fans a cheer as the final buzzer goes?
Yes,
she does. And the smiles say it all. Zimbabwe have been fantastic here at this Netball World Cup. Absolutely superb. And Uganda have as well. Africa represented, but it's Uganda that take the 7th position with a 58-47 win over Zimbabwe. The usual huddle that we've seen after every match here at the Netball World Cup is had between the 2 African sides. Uganda, too much for Zimbabwe, but netball's been a winner today in this match, the first match of this final day, Pamela Cookie. Represented well and very entertaining.
Indeed it was, yeah, and as you say, netball was definitely the winner there. Uganda taking 7th place. Zimbabwe so strong throughout this competition in terms of where they started, getting 8th.
So 2 more positions on this final day confirmed. A nice little wave and smile. Look at that for Mary Cholhock. What an experience for all of the players. They know what they've done here at this World Cup. They know the difference that they've made. They know the waves that they've made. Took a bit of orchestrating to get everybody to do what they wanted. And look at that. That's what it means. And the carnival atmosphere will continue throughout the day from Zimbabwe and Uganda. A super first match on the final day. The players love it, the crowd love it. They're on their feet, Pamela Cookie, applauding these 2 teams and what they've brought to Liverpool.
They have. Africa was really represented at such a high level. They've won the fun, the skill level, the entertainment, the community, the joy. And they've just put on such a great show for the crowd. The crowd loving it. They've shown their appreciation throughout this tournament for them, and it's still going. As they just say a little prayer at the end, just to thank for everything that has been brought to them.
Quite rightly so. Taking their time to leave the court here in Liverpool. I'm quite emotional, Pamela.
I know, it's so lovely, because it means so much to them. Where they've come from, where they've And it's for a lot of teams here as well. We talk about the African nations, but yes, Fiji down in Oceania, loving it, doing the floss. But there are some teams, some of the Caribbean teams, that have just had to work so hard to get to this point. And now they're here, now they've also performed on that world stage. It means so much to them, and that's what brings the emotion.
And there's our super fan. Look at him, now he's beside himself. He's supported constantly with just about a 15-second pause throughout the whole match. And the team and the players and the coaches showing their appreciation. And you're exactly right, Pamela. It's been wonderful. They've deserved every second on court. And the African nations, represented heavily, have performed here in Liverpool. But it is Uganda, 58 goals to 47, that take the 7th spot and kick us off here with a wonderful atmosphere on the final day of action, day 10 of this Netball World Cup.
And also just behind, we've got Zimbabwe who are leading New Zealand for the last time. Let's give them a big cheer, please, as well.
Our courtside reporter in the thick of it, Hannah Wilkes, is catching up with the player of the match.
Well, Stella, congratulations. A great performance from you, a great performance from the whole Ugandan team, and I really get the sense that the emotion of the occasion has really just hit you all and you've really enjoyed your time out there. Just sum up your World Cup experience.
Yeah, it has been a fantastic game. It has been all over everything that it wasn't good, but we've tried our level best so that we can maintain the position 7. We see that we make our country proud, and we ourselves. Today we had to come up and show up the whole world that we can make it be number 7. So I'm very, very happy for being number 7.
You've put on such a great performance throughout the World Cup. I think, you know, if you look back to where you started a week ago as a team, and the first match for you as well, having to leave the field of play, it's been quite a transformative week and a huge week for African netball generally, hasn't it?
Yeah, in Africa things are not good. We are not well off, but we just maintain ourselves. However much problems we have at home, but we tried our level best so that we can see that we maintain the position and we see that we catch up with the whole world.
Just talk to me about your teammates and the girls you play with out there on court. Just how close are you and what's the group like? Is it something you're very proud to be a part of, playing with those girls?
Yeah, it has not been easy, but we went out all and we said, team, this is our last game, so we have to go all out so that we can fight hard. We know that we should go strong, harder, so that we can go all out with the whole team.
Well, you certainly did that. We'll let you enjoy and soak up the atmosphere with your teammates. Very well played today, Stella. I'm just going to bring in your coach, if I may. Well, Nelson, you secured that 7th spot there, finished 8th in 2015, so progress really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a progress, because jumping one step forward, it's not something easy, so we are very happy for that.
The standard of the play across the whole World Cup and the level that's been brought by all the teams really feels like it's risen this year. How proud are you of the girls for stepping up to that challenge?
Can you come again? Can you please come again?
You can. It's very loud in here. The crowd are going absolutely wild. But the standard across the board at this World Cup this year has risen from previous years, hasn't it? So how proud are you that the girls have been able to step up and perform like they have?
Yeah, really, the standard of this World Cup has gone really up, and I'm proud because there was a lot of upset. You lose one game, you are gone. So we are very happy because of the standard. It is really high. Not even Africa, but the rest of the world.
How much do you think your team have developed and improved as well, just in the last week, being able to play against the world's very best?
Yeah, a lot of experience, a lot of exposure, and we hope to come back, maybe play professional. Yeah.
And just finally, how much have you enjoyed being part of the World Cup here in Liverpool?
We have enjoyed. Liverpool is just a great city. People are friendly, the place is friendly. Generally, we want to thank you so much for this organization because it has been superb.
Well, we've loved having you here. Thank you so much. I'll bring in the Zimbabwe coach, Lloyd, not to be today, but you've got to be pleased with how your girls performed out there on court.
I'm very pleased. We are all very pleased. I think all the Zimbabweans are pleased with our performance at this tournament.
How much have your girls enjoyed, and yourself, being part of your first ever World Cup, because you've really brought this competition to life?
Yeah, we did enjoy very much because look at it, we are the darlings of everyone. We played above expectations. We never thought we would be number 8 on this World Cup. So it's like number 8 in the world according to the World Cup. So it's a great achievement.
It certainly is, and like you said, you definitely are the darlings. You've won the hearts of so many people here. What do you hope will happen now in terms of netball in Zimbabwe with what you've been able to do here and the platform you've given yourselves?
I would like to think after this, we go back home. I think all the people will get together and try to help us make netball grow, and the business community should just come and chip in and make sure that this game develops into something big.
Well, we've absolutely loved watching your team over the last week. Thank you so much for being part of this World Cup and wish you all the best of luck in the future. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.